Hi, I'm Jamie. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis 23 years ago, and I'm here today because I have to give you my review on the BionicGym. As you can see, I'm shaking already. I am in my wheelchair, about to do a workout. I am loving this, and I mean this so sincerely. I purchased this 3 weeks ago for weight loss, but what it has done for my MS is beyond. I can't say more amazing things about it, especially for anyone with a chronic disease. I right now have it on a fairly low setting, and if you could see, I have ankle weights on. That's so I don't shake myself right out of my chair. But I do this when I'm warming up to do a workout of a normal chair workout. When I sit down for the second hour, I will crank it up and I will let it rock my legs. There's no fatigue after. When I'm done, I could stand up, I could walk around, get to the bathroom or walk around the best I can. And it's amazing the difference it's made. Even my physical therapist has said how amazing it is for the couple of steps that I take now, how much different my walking has become. I honestly can't say more amazing things about the BionicGym. Everybody should own one. It has been amazing, and I'm so happy to be on this journey. I can't wait to say how it's been after 3 months or 6 months. I hope you could see everything. I hope you understand. Again, me, my wheelchair, my brace, my shaking, and I'm going to start my workout.
I'm humbled to be here today with wonderful Jamie Starr. Jamie has BionicGym, can exercise people. I'm the inventor of it, Dr. Louis. It can exercise people even while you're sitting down. And I've been hugely heartened to hear of Jamie and her progress. So Jamie has MS, and we'll introduce you to her now. A wonderful lady from the East Coast of America with a great dog.
Hey. Hello, how are you? This is behind me. He's a little. I apologize in advance.
It's cool. Tell me a little bit about yourself, Jamie, and
All right, I've had MS now for 25 years, and it's been a struggle. Secondary progressive. That means I don't really get better. I continue to progress, but I've always worked out. I've been working out since I was like 35, and my workouts mean everything to me. And when you're in a wheelchair, getting a workout is very difficult. When you have a chronic condition, having a workout is difficult because it's not just the fact that I can't move my legs, but after a while, even just moving my arms, they become fatigued. So no matter how hard I was trying and how hard I would work, I would literally exhaust myself and look down at my Apple Watch and my heart rate's 114. And I'm like dying, and it was getting me nowhere. I wasn't losing weight. I eat very little. I have to watch it because I'm not that mobile. And I kept seeing BionicGym pop up, and it was an investment. I was like, I didn't care. I finally broke down and bought it. And you could see from that video, that was 3 weeks. That was 3 weeks I made that video. Oh my God. And I swear I write a blog about it. I talk about it all the time. It's made so much difference. That Bionic Gym. It's right up in front of me. I use it 4 times a week at minimum, and it's the greatest. And my heart rate is 95% of the time it's over 130 when I do a workout in my bed, just my arm, cranking it up.
That is amazing.
It makes such a big difference. And it makes a big difference just in how I feel. So I can sweat. I feel like I worked out. I don't feel like I've done nothing. I don't feel like a sack of potatoes because I'm not mobile. And I've gotten worse this year due to a sickness early in the year, which I know Dr. Crow knows about. And I really became bedbound, and I had to rebuild my whole legs again and my whole body again. And BionicGym, that was the first thing I put on to start rebuilding it up again. And it took me a while, but we're there. We're getting there. Not perfect, but we're getting there. So it does. It's my go-to.
Uh, wow. And well, I suppose, first of all, you heard about it on the internet. We were targeting you on ads or something. But why did you buy it then? Like,
Well, truthfully, I was looking to lose weight. I mean, that's really what it was. And I saw the ads, I saw the philosophy, I saw how you shook, and I saw it quite a few times before I actually purchased it. So I kept seeing it, I kept seeing it. I loved the idea of the contractions with MS and physical therapy. They always had me hook up to an EMS machine to try to contract those muscles that I can't do by myself. So it kind of started looking from there. And I did. I stumbled on BionicGym. And once I stumbled on it, I kept stumbling on it, kept reading reviews, kept reading reviews. And eventually bought an EMS machine that did absolutely nothing, didn't even contract my muscles, didn't help me at all. I returned it and I said, forget it. I'm going to just try the BionicGym out. And truthfully, when I first got it, I had a lot of issues. It was hard to figure out how to put on because my mobility is not that great. And it was just me. And I went on message boards. And I would say within a week, I was on the female message board, and they were just so helpful that I just started getting a grip on how to figure out how to wrap them, where to go, how to stand up, where to sit. And once things started getting into place, it just was the best thing I could do. Like that's how it really went. So it was, excuse me, I'm just taking water, but that's how it came about that I got BionicGym. It did start with weight loss, but I was also thinking EMS at the same time.
and
So
did it help with weight loss?
yes, I've lost 20 pounds finally. Couldn't lose any weight. I wasn't gaining weight. I wasn't losing weight. Couldn't take off a pound.
20 pounds is quite an amount.
Yeah,
Uh,
lost off 20 pounds that I gained. I've taken off after I got sick, I took off more weight. When I first started, I had the extensions, and they were quite a lot on those extensions. Extensions are gone. They've been gone for 6 months now, 8 months. So I've been on 2 years, not even a year and a half with BionicGym. So the extensions are all gone. So I've had a pretty high level too. So that's just my feeling in my legs. But yeah, I'm up at a pretty high level. And I do. I usually take we have to change me after, and I'm usually in a sweat pool. We're taking off all my clothes, and it works great. So
yeah. Does somebody help you get into it, or are you able to figure it out?
we do, we do. I have full-time mates, and so they know everybody knows how to use it, and everybody knows how to put it on. And we lift up one leg, and we wrap one leg, and then we lift up the other leg, and we wrap it up another way. If you ever get on to the female side, Denise, they have a lot of ways to help you see when you're if you could sit down or you can lay on it and you could wrap it up that way if you don't have someone to help you. I found it easier when I was a little more mobile. I used to stand at my table, wrap one side, then wrap the other side, then sit and attach everything to do. But there are tricks of the trade to do it. For me now, like I said, I have an adjustable bed. So we lift up one leg, we wrap it, and then we put that one down, and then we lift up the other one, we wrap it, and then we adjust from there. But it works out.
And what does your therapist think?
My therapist thinks you are a geniuses, especially when I got sick this year. He thinks it's great, but he started using it in therapy because we had to literally rebuild my muscles after I got so sick and was in bed for so long. So what we started stretching the leg using one of the step programs. So as the steps came up higher, that's where he would push my leg up to try to build up the tone and the muscle in the quads again, which I had serious problems with. And so we start stretching out my leg and we would start doing this. And little by little, all of a sudden, I couldn't even like stand up for a long period of time. One day I stood up and then he said, "Take a step." And I took a step and he said, "Take another step." And it was like out of nowhere because it all started with the putting on the BionicGym again. I would sit in the bed. I figured out how to get the BionicGym on first. And I sat in the bed with BionicGym and did, 20 minutes here, 30 minutes here. And then we started actually stretching me with BionicGym. And sure enough, I started doing the couple of feet that I needed to make all my transfers again. So that was it for him. Every other thing we had to have BionicGym on. And I was starting, I walk very difficultly, but I could walk and I do need to make steps for transfers. But sure enough, we were doing it. We were building up the legs again. And he thought this was the most fabulous thing. And he thinks everybody should own one. And it works better than the EMS because on top of it, what it does when it's going, I don't sit idly. So as it's going and as it's vibrating, I'm squeezing where the pads are contracting. So I don't feel those muscles. I can't do that normally on my own. But with BionicGym there, I feel the contraction to actually start squeezing the muscles that I had very little control over. And so it just kind of, as I'm going through it, it reminds me to help start strengthening muscles that I would not be able to do on my own, which is really what the EMS does as well, but it can't hit an area like that. And that other EMS machine I bought certainly wasn't doing it. And
Yeah, no, we do it a lot better.
yeah, that's what that's why it's made so much difference that I was up and we didn't even know if I was going to walk again, let alone to get up and actually be able to take steps with a walker. And yeah, sure enough. And it started once again with BionicGym. Once I started putting it on and started feeling those muscles contracting again and being able to work with the BionicGym's move, it started making a difference for somebody that has really very, very low mobility in her legs. Like,
The it's just extraordinary. The I know you have a blog as well. You mentioned this earlier. Just to tell people, we'll put a link or something like that into the comment section at some stage because I'm
I
sure people will be interested. It's
about it. I have a lot of blogs about BionicGym. I do. I tell it. I'm like they must think I sell it on my blog, but it's multiple experiences with an s.org. And it's an MS blog and I talk about all my MS sufferings, but my BionicGym is all over it because it was a game changer for me. It changed everything. It changed how I lost weight. It changed how my exercises go. It changed how I was coming out of that hospital for a month when I couldn't even get out of bed. BionicGym, once I started putting it back on, all the muscles started coming back to working again. And, it just made such a difference.
And
And difference every day because it's my Saturday. So
yeah,
I do it when I do BionicGym, I never do less than 2 hours, just so you know. I always do BionicGym in conjunction with an hour arm workout, and then the BionicGym runs for another hour. So my favorite ones is glucose globler. That's my favorite, or toes. But I like fire it up and feel the heat. I like those too. But sometimes I don't like to go back and reset it, so I stay on the 2 hours. But those are like my four go-tos.
in case anybody wants to send in a question, please do so. If you've got anything to say to Jamie or anything, just put us in the comments section. This is Pamela here. Jamie, you are incredible. I love how determined you are. That's Pamela. Give
Thank you,
me a
Pam.
good Pamela. Uh,
Yeah, it's been a really great journey, I have to say.
the
How long did it take you to lose 20 pounds? It took me roughly, um, it
I was
actually
asking, how long did it take you to lose 20 pounds?
actually wasn't so bad. It kind of was a combination of things. I got the BionicGym, and then I actually got a glucose monitor. And I started because again, I was eating 1,000 calories a day and not losing weight, and no matter what I did, and it was driving me insane. And I've been diet obsessed since I was a kid. And I found that once I had the glucose monitor, I learned where spikes were in what I ate, which are completely crazy things. I don't have diabetes or anything like it, but it tracks spikes in my food. And then when I started really concentrating on the BionicGym more, where I wasn't just doing, a half an hour, when I started building it up to the hour and the 2 hours and really putting it in conjunction with the arm workout, not just letting it run. It took me, I would say, the weight really came off really fast. It actually took me from maybe July to December, and 20 pounds fell off me right away once they both came together, to be honest. So yeah, it was very quick thing after years of not being able to move my scale anywhere but up. So it was very quick. And yeah, and it was also with the BionicGym, at first everybody's like, 30, you first try it 30, you have to kind of figure out where your body works best with it. So I originally was doing it like when I was sitting in the chair in my video, I would sit with it with my legs bent, and I was just doing my video, but it wasn't on high. And then I would sit down and do another hour on it high. I find that doesn't work as well for me. So what I do is I'm actually better laying with, if I'm in my chair, I lay my legs out straight to let it vibrate higher so I don't fall out of the wheelchair. But this way my legs are straight, or even in my bed. So I let the BionicGym stay at that 90 or 100 where my legs really get more benefit from it. And I do the workout. And my workouts, I usually have my heart rate over 130. And so I had to figure out what worked better for the exercises that I do with the BionicGym. And there's one day I was telling you earlier, one day I do BionicGym and I do just let it run for however long it is, for 2, 3 hours till my battery dies, without any arm or anything. And I still actually usually have my heart rate in the mid 120s somewhere by the
Your
second.
heart rate 120s for 3
Yeah,
hours? That's
yeah,
pretty good.
whole 3 hours. It usually gets up there about in the second hour, it usually gets up there. By the third hour, it's holding steady. Yeah. So,
Cool.
bed or in my wheelchair with my legs straight out. So you have to understand, I'm disabled, and my arms could only do so much. By the last 15 minutes of my arm workout, my arms are jello. Like this arm's like barely coming up, and this arm's like here. So I look like a muppet because I can't do much. So you have to understand, to maintain that kind of heart rate with someone that your body is fatiguing and can only push so much. That's like incredible. Like I'm in a bed and I'm doing a heart rate of 130 something degrees. Heartbeat, sorry. That's just beyond, like, it's just so
You're
amazing.
probably 130 something degrees as well.
Well, that's what it is. It's just, and I had to figure out what worked best for me, because the other way I was doing it didn't really work best for me the first time. So I had to play with it, and sometimes I do different things, and I still do, and I change it up. Probably every season, I change it up somewhere along the line. So,
Wow, just incredible. Here's another question from Magali Padilla. Which ones you said are your two favorite workouts?
glucose glover. I'm always on that one. I love 2 hour twinkle toes. And I love Feel the Heat and Fire It Up. Those are an hour each. But those are my four favorite. Those are my four go-tos. When I was sick in the bed, I was definitely on bionic quads for a while. They definitely helped me focus maybe a little bit more. But yeah, I like I said, I like the 2 hour programs the best, just because I always do that hour with my arms, and then it just goes right into the next hour for my legs. So that's why. But I think my heart rate probably gets a little higher on Fire It Up and Feel the Heat when I'm doing it with my arms. Not by much, but a couple of heartbeats, maybe like 135. So
135 is pretty good. And we got Anne again. Hi once more, Anne. What are you doing during these 2 or 3 hours you're lying in bed and letting it run? Can you watch TV during this, or is it too hard to concentrate on TV when you're letting it shake?
no. Well, for the first hour, I love right on YouTube. I use a lot of the YouTube videos. Adapt to Live has Adapt to Life. He has this wonderful. He uses a ski pole. I'm just trying to reach my pole, which he does exercises. And if you could see this pole I use, and he does exercises. It's a 20-minute exercise routine he does, and he does it with a ski pole. And since I don't listen to him, I lower him down, throw on my iPad, listen to the music. I do all the exercises, and I go through the routine 3 different times while the BionicGym is running. That's the first hour. So I'm not watching TV. I'm actually doing a video. And then on the second hour, then I'll go and I'll watch whatever I'm watching at that time, either a video, F1, but I have no problem concentrating. I just have problem holding the phone. Like I can't really text, or like someone calls me and I'm like shaking like this and they're trying to talk to me, and those don't always work out.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I see Magali is saying he's had one for a couple of weeks and loves it. Congrats to you. So I think that they're all loving you. Well, if there's a quick last question, send it in right now. Otherwise, is there anything more, Jamie, that you'd like to share, or any tidbits that you think people absolutely need to know, or any problems you have at BionicGym? That's something.
I can tell you that there are wiring issues once in a blue moon, and I see that pop up, and I've seen it pop up on all the sites. I find that the wiring issues are you might not have things perfectly straight on your legs. There are stitching lines that I was taught from having a couple of problems because you do also have a good customer service. Try to get your stitching lines right in the middle of your leg. Um, that ensures the best bond. And so I also find that don't I don't open my BionicGym app until I turn on the battery pack first. I don't know why. It's just a trick and it usually works better that way for me. But the wiring issues usually are something silly on the leg. It's not actually something wrong with Bionic Gym. So sometimes people get like, I keep having this issue, and they get frustrated. But I learned that stitching, that orange stitching down the middle, should be middle down your leg on both of them, no matter what leg you're putting it on, and that helps a lot in placement. So those are one of the key things I've kind of learned. Um, and yeah, and my other trick is I never open the app until I have my blue dot on first.
Yeah, and
But
that's uh, we've updated the Android one, and it helps with some of the connection issues, and we'll be updating the Apple as well in a while. We hope we've had challenges there, but we're working on it in the background. The I see Anne is asking another question. Is it painful? I find TENS units to be somewhat painful, even just on level 2.
well, I have very funky feelings, to be honest. My feeling is not like a normal person. So 30 to me, I don't feel like a 30 to somebody normal. Um, I got my sister. I made my sister by Bionic Gym. She also needed to lose weight, and she was at 30, and she's sweating, and she's huffing, she was puffing. She's like, I don't understand. She's like, what number is yours at? I'm like 89. She's like, are you bleeding? Like she could not understand how I can be that high, and I am high. That's just because my feelings. So no, it doesn't hurt me. I have to keep it high actually to get more of that contraction.
The
But
Stephanie Abdullah is asking. She's saying, Anne, I'm waiting for hours as well while I work. I haven't done it standing yet. It seems awkward to me to stand and walk while it's on.
I'll be honest, I had one, this is a true story. I had one experience where I had to go to the bathroom and I didn't want to shut it off. So I tried and understand this is still when I was walking a little better. And I tried walking and I had to unplug it because I literally could not stay. I couldn't get to the bathroom. It was never happening. So I don't know how people walk in them. To be, I don't know how people exercise standing up and I don't know how people walk. I can't do that. So that was the one and only time I ever attempted it, and that was it.
Well, I'm forever walking with it. So sometimes, kind of, you don't walk too normally, but uh, yeah. And actually, I find if I'm working on like as a laptop, I find that for me anyway, it's much better to be standing. I can use it at higher intensity, and I've got a straight platform. And for me, I need a kind of a standing desk, or I need to put my laptop up high, so my posture is good. I'm using it away, and but yeah, the walking can look a bit funny if you're.
I would love to be able to stand and walk in it. I've tried to do it. My therapist actually, he also, when I was first starting to stand and take those steps, he actually had it, on when I was holding on, and I was like, I don't know how people do it, but okay, you can't count me though. But I can only imagine how good that workout could be with it on standing. I wish I could.
The Asima Nurhayati. Again, forgive me if I get the pronunciation wrong. What advice from you have from someone that is having surgery? I'll take this one as it's a kind of a medical question. The first thing is you wouldn't do any BionicGym immediately around surgery. Simple as that. And well, it obviously depends upon the surgery. If you're doing something in your arm and you're exercising your legs and you're sitting down, that's probably fine. But check it out with your doctor first. That's very important. Yeah, so your therapist or your doctor, ask them, and if they give you permission, then of course it's fine. But and this goes for any medical condition, any serious medical condition. Be sensible. Check it out with your doctor.
I have showed this to my MS specialist. She's seen how BionicGym works. And again, she doesn't know the science, she doesn't know the anything, but she's all for if it's helping you and it's not hurting you, great. But and it's been helping me. So we're all good with it. There's no downside for me at all.
Cool. Hey, if you next time you're with her, you can tell her we actually have lots of serious medical kind of publications as well. We don't really publicize them as such because we're, more of a consumer product, but we've researched an awful lot and published in kind of, peer-reviewed scientific journals and that. So, okay. Stephanie asking, does it help with cellulite? Did you have cellulite?
I certainly have cellulite, and I tell you right away, because I was telling this earlier, the way I have to get into them right now on my bed, I can't get them quite as high up on my thigh as I would like. So my bottom of my thigh doesn't jiggle as much, and the top of my thigh is jiggling a little more than I would like. But yeah, it's made a huge difference. Tones up your legs. Like I said, when I first got these, I had the extensions on. They weren't anywhere close to coming off, and they're all off. I don't have any extensions anymore, and that's because my legs are toned and thinner, and they don't jiggle. And so yeah, it's made a big difference with that.
Cool. I know Tressa was saying that too. We haven't actually done any proper studies in it. If you lose weight, of course, that will help with cellulite, obviously. And the other thing is, if you got an awful lot of cellulite at high intensities, it could be uncomfortable first few times you use it. You'd need to go up kind of quite gradually because the cellulite skin can be very tender just to touch. So you need to go up very gradually, and instead of kind of it taking a week or 2 weeks to kind of get used to it, it may take you 3 to 4 weeks. But then you'll be able to kind of lose weight with it. It also has a kind of great pumping effect as well. So there are some theories about kind of lymphatic drainage with cellulite. I'm not really that au fait with it. I normally research myself first, so this isn't a problem for me. So forgive me. Brilliant.
I will tell you that they've been toned. That they're
Okay, cool. Listen, I want to thank everybody who's been sending in comments, and I see there are a good few likes there as well. So listen, thank you for that as well. If you know anybody that might benefit from hearing what Jamie has to say, please share it. That would be greatly appreciated. Visit her blog as well.
Yeah, I was about to say, you can always reach me on my blog if you have any questions. I have numerous conversations about BionicGym because it's made a world's difference for me.
What was the URL of your blog again? We'll put it in somewhere, but
it is www.multipleexperiences.org.
Brilliant. Okay, cool. And I'd like to thank Ross, who's working in the background doing all the technology, making sure everything is smooth here, and Keen as well, who did the graphics. I think that'll be it from us in just a few minutes. I see Howard Greenstein, he said two things. One, he says that Jamie inspires us. So that's great. She certainly inspires me too. Stephen Whiteside, cool. We have the link up there on screen now. Stephen Whiteside is saying thank you for sharing your story. So well done, Jamie. And
Thank you for having me.
cool. So that'll be it from us. I'll just tell you what in the background as we're closing off. That BionicGym, it's a form of electrical stimulation. We send little impulses through the legs, wraps you put around your legs, and this causes the muscles to contract. And muscle contractions, then of course, that's how you burn calories. That's how you get fit. That's how you use your muscles. And we kind of mimic nature's hack of shivering, which is to burn the maximum amount of calories without actually moving. So we kind of mimic shivering, and this maximizes the calorie burn, maximizes the amount of energy that's consumed, and a training effect. You use this at high enough intensities, your muscles cry out for oxygen. They're producing CO2. So the heart needs to start pumping faster to deliver the oxygen and the blood, and the sugars as well. It's really sugar hungry. And of course, you get breathless as well then. So that's it. And a real thank you to everybody, and thank you again to Jamie. And we'll be signing off here and just now, I think.